Okay. Hello. Testing, testing, testing. Okay. All right, we seem to be in business. Tidy. No, neither do I, mate. Hello, Stephen. Long time no see. So yeah, I'm kind of back. Sort of. Hopefully. And I've forgotten to unplug some stuff. Hopefully unplugging this doesn't bugger the stream, but I don't really need a flight stick in front of me to drive trains. Let's just get rid. Kind of wasn't expecting that to work, so I didn't have the desk set up properly. But seeing as we're here, depth. Hello, long time. Yeah, hi, mate. Oh, bloody hell, people are coming back already. Good lord. Unbelievable. Right, let's do a thing with the things. If there's any audio problems or anything, please let me know, because this is literally the first time streaming on this system. Right, what will we do? Because we've got it all. Hey Samson, hi mate. Good to see you. So, why was I gone for ages? Couple of reasons. Circumstances changed, didn't always have a lot of time, and it took me bloody ages to rebuild my library. You might have noticed I have jumped platform. Not on PlayStation anymore. So, should probably go and do something about the channel description at some point. But in the meantime, yeah, let's try some trains. What will we do? What have we not? Right, so the last thing we did was, I think, Southeastern High Speed? Possibly? So, shall we do something we've done before, or shall we do something we've never done on this? Actually, technically, we've not done quite a lot of the old stuff either, because, you know, layers and mods and stuff. Now, you see, this is what happens when you don't plan ahead, because I've got no idea really what to do. Yeah, no, I've got a PC depth. I was kind of looking at the situation, we're trying to get a hold of them and the prices that scalpers were charging, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, well, I can either wait months and months and months and maybe get one, or I can pay PC money for one. And then they did that thing where they said all their first party games were going to be going to PC anyway, so I thought, well, what's there to really think about anymore, you know? Certainly at the time, with the complete and utter lack of PlayStation availability. You may hear a meowing in the background because I've inherited a cat in the last year as well, and she's quite clingy sometimes. Especially when she's hearing me talking to somebody, so she's come to investigate. So, no jet engine from the PlayStation, but you might hear a small animal trying to get my attention from time to time. Anyway, bugger that. Let's do something with trains. What will we do? What will we do? Let's do the Cathcart Circle, because that's the nearest one to me. Ah, yeah, man. The DLC thing has been, wow. What can you say to that, huh? Makes my planning, my planning seem suddenly amazing. Ah, shit, I completely forgot I gave the cat a flea bomb earlier and my hand's covered in it. Right, 2 seconds, I need to actually go wash my hand. Okay. cat's been distracted with some bickies as well. So, let's just crack on with this. So, Cathcart Circle. We'll just stick with the time, with month, and have some light clouds. All this stuff down here is just for the heritage trains. There's not rafts of extra stuff or things. It's just a wee mod that lets you swap out the 66 for, or whatever it was. I can't even remember what came with it for the, was it a 47 that did the heritage unit or something like that? Don't remember. Anyway, that's not why we're here. Shall we go right round the circle, maybe? Let's go right round the circle. 7:54 AM. Let's see if I can, now, Twitch Samson, that's probably the next thing I'm going to investigate if I, hit my stride again with the old streaming thing. We'll see how it goes at first. I'm still in the middle of ever-changing circumstances, if I'm being honest with you. But I'm hoping I'm going to have a bit more time to do this going forward. Right, so this is quite straightforward. We'll just be bashing straight round the circle once. We won't be going out onto the main lines at all. I quite like this route, even if it does feel a wee bit emptier sometimes. I know this station very well, it has to be said. I'm just racking my brains for a minute, just running mentally through the startup because I haven't driven this for bloody jeez. Right, let's just get going then. So unlock the doors. There's a key down here somewhere, isn't there? Honestly can't remember where all the switches are, so I'm just going to cheat and shortcut that. Destination board on. Let's just jump down the back and turn the back one on. What else do I need? Headlights. Those will help. I think that's pretty much it for this train, is it not? Love seeing the ScotRail trains. And it is kind of cool to see the station that I do know. It's just, oh, I wish there was more stuff in it. But it is what it is. Doesn't really matter, I suppose, too much when you spend 90% of your time looking out this window here. That should really be on, shouldn't it? Normal. Oh, in fact, no, because that's not a red signal for us, that's the other line. Ha! Cheers, man, I appreciate that. My son's fairly savvy with that kind of stuff as well, to be honest with you. He has kind of helped me get this far with it, but definitely keep that in mind, man, because there's no such thing as too much assistance sometimes, am I right? There's not really enough time to get out and go for a wander about. To be honest, I don't think there's any much difference from the PC and the PlayStation version of this line. It's not like there's layers or stuff. There's nothing here really that you don't see on other platforms. See what I did there? Right, let's get the doors closed and let's get underway. Always remember the bell, ding ding. So 15 miles an hour, all lines in and out of the station here. Those station announcements in ScotRail, by the way, those sound actually exactly like the real ScotRail lady, which is pretty cool. One thing I did notice when I was setting all this up, I did not realise there are literally a million bloody train guys on YouTube. So I might have to think of a different name for the channel, a slight alteration there, because It's safe to say I definitely didn't stand out trying to search it down. That's how long it's been. The devices I used to manage the channel from, I don't even have any of them anymore. I had to find it all and recover it. It's terrible, eh? Yeah, the PC and the Gen 9 consoles is essentially the same experience. I think there is one extra layer above for PC. There's an ultra setting, and I think the consoles are on like maximum. But to be honest, you can't tell the difference by looking. I don't play at 4K anyway because of the monitor I'm using. Maybe if I was running a better monitor, I might notice, but no, I haven't been able to tell really. See, in reality, we would have probably passed 2 or 3 trains by now, coming and going from various places. You'd have probably seen a few of the funnily coloured SPT ones as well. Let's pick it up a little bit. Tiny dab of the brake, going downhill now. Ages. I think it's actually quite slow most of the way around when you stay on the circle. No point in accelerating because we're just around the corner from the station anyway. Well, actually, no, we're a bit further away than I thought. I always get east and west mixed up. I forgot we're going down the route. We're going around counterclockwise. This was the clockwise circle. Yeah, that DLC thing's absolutely... It's mind-boggling that it's still going on, really. I mean... Dovetail... well, I wouldn't like to see you expect it from them, but... You know... but Sony can't fix that shit out, seriously? I mean, it's not really DTG's fault. I suppose. I mean, why would you think to check that? It seems like it's such an odd limit to have. But no, that must be a real pain in the knackers for you guys. Right, let's get the doors opened. Oh, we'll get out and do some collectible-y stuff because I've not actually done any of that kind of thing. So few collectibles and things been done on the PC simply because I've not played a lot of these older routes very much, you know. I played them all when they came out on the PlayStation. Right, let's head back down to the sharp end. Or driving in, they're really sharp end. Yes, these are real things, by the way. You'll find these at most ScotRail stations. Right. Oh, there goes an SPT train. Mods! Sorry, I do really like that stuff. Oh, he's going straight on through, I think. Sorry, that's the last time I willy wave about mods, I promise. I still find them all really exciting. Mind you, all that stuff's on the Creators Workshop now, innit? Forgot about that as well. I have to say, I think that's one thing that they have done properly, is trying to bring as much of this stuff to as many of the platforms as possible. Bethesda are the only other company I can think of that allowed mods onto the console versions of the games. Oh, Sandpatch, I love American Freight now. Sherman Hill, love it. What was that other one that just came out? I've already forgotten the name of. Horseshoe. That's brilliant. Really enjoyed that. Cane Creek. It's okay. It's fun enough. It's just a shame you spend so much of your time at 20 miles an hour is all. Absolutely loving Sherman Hill though. I haven't done much on Sandpatch either. I think I've driven like 2 services on it since it changed systems. Oh, I don't have my...
Please ensure you have a valid ticket for travel. You will be expected to produce your tickets and ask...
My gauge light's on. Can't really notice them anyway. Alright, let's go. Shawlands. Yabas. This train actually stops really quickly, helped by the fact, of course, you never go particularly fast around here, but you don't really need to be particularly on it. If you arrive on platform at 30 in this thing, you essentially cannot overshoot. Or you have to try really hard to overshoot.
Passengers are reminded that smoking is prohibited at all stations and on all train services. This includes e-cigarettes.
I don't really have time to go running about looking for stuff again. Oh, give me a poster. Or a map. Right, yes, Sherman Hill. Oh, right enough. Yeah, the long trains are awesome. When it came out, you actually had to sit for upwards of 15 minutes waiting for the brakes to charge on the long trains. I think they've tweaked that. I haven't actually played it in a couple of weeks since that last update came out. But oh man, those things are, there's something else to drive, dude. Really are. I'll maybe fire one up after we've done this, because it's quite short. I won't do a full run along Sherman Hill, but because it takes so long to do, they've actually split a lot of them in two. So you drive to a halfway point and then you do the second half. There are some services that are full length, but because their save thing's absolutely knackered as well, I think still. Now, what I was saying about having to work really hard to overshoot, also not paying proper attention will do it. I think we're okay though. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I remember seeing, yeah, no, maybe two. That's what, second, third train we've seen. I don't actually know how busy the Cathcart, these lines on the Cathcart circle themselves are, because I've never actually. Oh shit! I've opened the wrong doors. I've never been round it. I know Queen Street and Central fairly well, but I don't know the. I don't really know the Glasgow urban, it's like suburban and urban lines particularly well. Whoa, what was that? That was like a little slippage or something there. No more rustling papers either, because I'm a vape wanker now. No is good, but probably won't kill me as quickly, so, you know. Right, let's just throw the anchors on, get the doors open. I'm going to go and grab that collectible there. Oh, you can't get down there. Oh, newspapers. Here we go. I think that's definitely a mod that's putting the metros in there. Just jump back to the cab. Right, next stop's Cathcart, so that's us reached the, if you like, the return point. It's actually quite a nice wee train to drive. This is very similar to the 313. If you've driven that, you jump in this and just go. More or less. Speed limit. Yikes. nearest guy with a speed gun would be around this corner, so we're all good. Good clankage. I like the incidental sounds on this, like the sort of the ambient sound effects. Lots of squealing and clankage and things like that. That's what we want. Oh, I forgot those flowers at some point. Look, that wee flower planting's full. Oh, I left my door open as well. I don't actually know if the real one's got an interlock on that that door out there. Idiot, eh? I think this is still one of the routes where the platform PIS doesn't work yet. Oh, there's another metro bin down there. Never mind. Right. So getting everything you're missing when the thing's fixed. That's do you know what? That's part of the reason I was gone so long as well, because it took me quite a while to rebuild the library, to be fair. That weren't cheap. Even with Steam sales and stuff, it's a bit of a Syrian. I was thinking what I might actually do at some point is go back and have a look at some of the 4-up challenges that they've done, because I think those are brilliant. I thought I might run myself against a 4-up challenge or two at some point, see how I get on with them. But that involves a bit of research first to check scores and things like that. That takes time, so it's not something I did before just jumping on today. As I say, I was half expecting today not to figure it all out anyway. Maybe a bit too heavy on the old breakaroonies.
If you require assistance at any time, feel free to contact a member of station staff or use the help point.
See if there's anything quick and nearby that I can grab. That looks like... Oh no, that's already filled in. Might have already been along here actually. There are a couple of stations where I remember jumping out and doing stuff. Oh, not had that yet. That'll do. Just cheat our way back to the cab. Get locked up. And off we pop. Next stop, Cross Hill. Left that door open again. Ah yeah, because I cheated my way back into the cab, didn't I? I didn't walk. Now, see, the thing with doing my own challenges, that requires a modicum of imagination. But that's actually not a bad idea, Samson. You should take up streaming, mate. Actually, that's the thing. I do need to dip a toe into the world of Twitch. It's something. I think I watched it once because a pal of mine was doing something on Grand Theft Auto on it. Like I say, I've just not had any real engagement whatsoever with the whole sort of streaming scene since I came over to PC. To be honest with you, I've just been wanting to play games. First thing I installed when I bought this thing was Doom, 1993 Doom. Rather a lot of the games I use it for are ancient ones I missed the first time round. Right, well, we're getting further and further behind. Ooh, that was a bit of a lag spike there. Running a minute late, that's pretty poor actually by this far round. I mean, it's pretty decent by ScotRail standards, but it's pretty poor by the standards you should be able to drive it in the game. Stop Queen's Park. Home of Queen's Park Rangers. There is a joke in there about the oldest and most successful teams in Glasgow, but we'll no go there. Some people get upset by that. Or am I getting them confused with Partick Thistle? Ah, fuck, what do I know about football? I only know enough about football to make jokes that wind other people up. I'm sure QPR were a Glasgow team, but who cares? This is a train stream, not a football stream. Oh, there's a wee thing there for me to grab as well. Got it.
Vehicles parked at unauthorised points may be clamped or removed without
Oh, we can
warning.
actually get quite far down
Short
this.
and long.
Wonder how far we can go. Oh crikey, we can go right up to the exit. Right, okay. I think that was another SPT train going by. Fortunately, we caught it just as it went into the dark. Now, this signal caught me out a couple of times the first time on account of it being on the other side of a stone wall, but it is in fact for this track. I'm not going to go anywhere, I'm just going to lock and run. It's only a 30-second stop or something at these stations as well. Oh, PIS does work. Okay. Oh, I wonder if those little TV screen things. Oh, do you know what? They might have been added in by something else. Don't honestly remember what I put in this and didn't. Didn't set my DRA, didn't actually double check the signal before I took off. That was lucky. Could have gone very, very badly. Right, next stop, Glasgow Central. About half an hour after we left. A fairly slow approach to the station. Again, in reality, there'd be quite a lot of traffic here coming in and out. It's one of the busiest stations in the country. It would be nice maybe if they added more Scottish routes in future, that they stuck a layer or two of AI on here. Because I mean, they've gone from way back in the day, every train has to be drivable, to nah, stuff it full of AI, and I honestly prefer them stuffing them full of AI. That's accurate. Every uncovered brick in Glasgow's got spray paint on it. Every uncovered brick in parts of Edinburgh are covered in graffiti as well. Let's not lie, it's not necessarily a Glasgow thing. No AWS on the way in here either. A little bit late on the slowdown there, but not to worry. Yeah, it's a hell of a walk from one end of the train to the other on the old Sherman. That's what you use your flying cameras for. Fortunately, they thought that one through. The locomotives on Sherman Hill, you can actually click and open you can use the flying camera to get to the back end, and you can open the window and click all the switches. I do it to get the number lights and stuff turned on. The only thing is it'll sometimes despawn your conductor, but who cares? lights and that even come on as well. Oh, there we go. Oh, this is one that just ends when you open the doors, right? Cool. Right, let's see what else is on the table. Oh, actually, what time is it? 5:15, right. Switch route. What else have I not done? Well, everything after Southeastern I've not done on the stream. I said we'd have a look at Sherman, didn't I? Right. Timetable. Let's have a look and see what's on the timetable. Right. So it's split usually between Laramie and Laramie, I don't know how you pronounce it, and Hermosa, which is, I don't know why I'm pointing with my finger. Hermosa is about here on the map. That's Laramie up there, and that's Cheyenne down there. So quite often they're split into go from here to the halfway and then finish the journey with the stop at Hermosa. And vice versa. There are a few that are sort of full length Cheyenne to Laramie. It says an hour and a half. That is a lie. That's the time it'll take you if you travel at the speed limit the whole time. You do not want to be doing the speed limit, because if you go above about 30 mile an hour with one of these trains going downhill, you ain't going to stop it again. 35, 40 at a push, you can get it back under control. Any more than that, you're in deep doo-doos. So it does take longer than these times often suggest. There is absolutely loads of services though. You will generally pass a few trains on your way there or back. We'll try and find one that's not too... I'll try to remember which are the heavy ones. I think the manifests... I think the auto rack trains are usually pretty light. I don't want to do a full length run because I don't have like 2.5 hours, really. That's a full length. That's a full length, that's a full length. So all these full lengths all of a sudden. The super fruit. Now, we could do the super fruit. I'm just wondering how long that's going to take to climb the hill. Hermosa to Laramie. And the thing is going up the hill with a lot of these trains, you never get anywhere near the speed limits anyway. So again, the times are a bit sort of taken with a grain of salt, you know. Right. We'll do it downhill. Ethanol going downhill. I think this is one of the heavier trains as well. What could possibly go wrong? Right, so we are 107 wagons, or 107 vehicles for nearly 12,000 tonnes at 1.2 miles. The 107 vehicles, if I remember rightly, is going to be there's 4 locos in the front, 4 at the back, and 1 at the back, just a helper at the back. So it's 4 at the front, 1 at the back is 5, plus an aggregate car at either end is 6, 7, and 100 ethanol tanks. The aggregate car, as far as I'm aware, that's just full of stuff that they can. It's basically if the thing derails and some of the tanks burst, they can put this stuff down to sort of absorb it and try and contain the spread. It's health and safety and all that, you know. While we're up here, we'll turn the number lights on. The step lights should always be on anyway. Ourselves back down the front end. So the conductor is now despawned. Get the reverser in. I need to think for a moment because I ain't driven this for a long time. Now, there's no MTU switch down under there on this beastie. It's all done from here. As operator controls, I think I want. So I want to cut in the brakes and cut in the lead. Right, so that's them cutting, and I'm now lead. You see if you press that button there, it comes up lead, cut in, or trail. If I press the cut switch for the brakes, I can cut them out or cut them back in again. And that is about all you need to do there. The rear brake is going down, so I need to actually get this kind of set up pronto. We'll put the local brake on full, and we'll release the automatic brakes. Don't forget to turn our banking column on. We don't actually need it for the ones immediately behind us, but we do need it for the this is the controlling unit, isn't it? Yeah. So we do need that for the fuck, I've completely forgotten. Oh yeah, the helper at the back. So while the brakes are charging, it goes up much faster now than it used to. It used to start much lower, and you need that to be up above about 70 before you start. It's still going down a little bit, but as the brakes start to charge, that will bounce off the bottom and come back up, so to speak. While we wait, just back. Single or intermediate unit that can just stay as is. Number lights on. Again, board lights on. So what we really need to do with this one. Still takes a couple minutes for the brakes to fully charge anyway, so taking a minute or two to do this doesn't really matter. Now this is technically the tail unit, so it's controlled from a unit coupled at the right end. time we get back up front here, we should be about good to go. I think I've done everything I need to do. There'll probably be something I've forgotten. So the rear pressure is up to 76. I mean, that's pretty much good to go. We're on a slight uphill as well, so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to give it some juice before we release the independent brake. We're going to put the alerter on. You do have cab signalling, but it's knackered, so we're not going to use it. Right, just a quick double check with the lead car. We are cutting, and give it some juice. Pop the brake. Maybe take it up to notch 4. It is going to take a wee moment or so for the brake to release. You sometimes get a little bit of a jolt forward. I should have left it long enough by then that the brakes have come off all the way down the train. It wasn't that I was waiting for the brakes to charge there while I was faffing about with the light switches. What I was waiting for was the brakes to come off down the length of the wagons. And yes, I am going to call them wagons. I don't care what they actually call them in America. They're wagons to me. Let me just get clear of this signal so I know how far it is to the next one, because I can't actually remember. Mile 6. It goes on forever. Heading to Cheyenne, which is mostly the downhill stretch. In fact, it's a few miles east of Dover. I think it's southbound actually, like south of that. At which point we switch over to mostly using dynamics with there, come down the hill. Actually, there's loads of aspects to American signals, but they're not as complicated as they seem at first. Essentially, for the purposes of train signals, green is go, yellow slow down a bit, red stop. There's no really fancy sort of, if you see this combination, do that. This speed limit is represented by coloured lights and stuff. I mean, there is some of that on other big parts of the network where you'll have things like ATC access, what have you. kind of signal. You're going so slowly anyway. Essentially, the rule of thumb is if you see a yellow, approach the next signal at about 20 miles an hour max, get some mass heading your way. Then if you see green, crack on. If you see a green and a yellow together, that's kind of like a double yellow on a British railway. It's like the next one's a caution, so get ready to slow down. Yellow on its own, or yellow and red, is expect to stop the next one, and red is obviously do not back. But they are not that complicated, certainly it's about the train. Oh, I think I might see the end of the train coming up, though. Boxy looking thing at the back there, yeah, there's no more carriages coming around, so wagons are coming around. Yes, indeedy, Sherman Hill then. I don't know why I pressed the hard button. I really need to go and look at that signal. I think the one I had was the green. Front of the train is now going downhill as well. This is the trickiest part to manage, is humping the hill because the train's so long. You don't want to go so slowly that you're creep over, but you don't want to be on the limit either, because you need to get on the braking as the bulk of the mass starts to head downhill. That's really badly. No EOT device on it, I notice. Right. I think we do actually, let me just check the, yeah, we go back uphill again before we go downhill, so I thought that was awful, so we head down the hill. Let's give it notch 8, roar! Yeah, all clear, we're good. I have to say, they've done a pretty good job of making absolutely nothing look pretty damn good, actually. If you know what I mean. Like, there is nothing to see out here for vast stretches of line. Have you ever wondered what those wooden things there are for? Those are snow fences, drift fences they're called. The idea is that in winter any snow blowing across the plains here, it piles up against those wooden fences and forms drifts rather than just all coming off the tracks. How effective they are, I don't really know. Right, we better terrain. Now this is, I'm okay because I know I'm going uphill again, but this is what happens if you go too fast and then try and put your dynamics on. So we'll let it drop down, we'll put the dynamics on to set up. Now we're doing 40 miles an hour at the moment, which is not that fast. Long enough for the dynamics. So they kick in now. Nothing. Almost nothing. They're really, really struggling to have any effect here. The faster you go, the less effective dynamic brakes become. So it's kind of holding it, but half the train's still coming up the hill, remember, as well. Maybe not half of it at this point. The further on we go, the more it clears. I don't have motion blur turned on, by the way, just in case. I've noticed I occasionally get a little bit of, what's the word, artifacting just on the edge of the windows if I turn the motion blur off. And I have to say that on balance I prefer it being off. So now that we're on a level, finally the dynamic very asthmatically starts to push back against the bulk of the train. Run on full dynamics for too long either. You might have no moving parts, but they can still burn out if you overdo them. Take the dynamics off. First few times I drove this depth, I really struggled with it. Lost control over the ones. First time I did this, actually the first time I drove this very train in a different service, a different time, but there's 2 or 3 of these through the days. First time I took an ethanol train down this hill, I think I was doing about 55 and accelerating when I finally arrived at Cheyenne. It was nuts. Up the hill again, or the front of the train is going up the hill. We go at the back of the train, we're on camera. That's very slightly going up the hill now. In fact, no, that's still on straight level section. It's a nice day. Game would be fun with multiplayer. It could be. Till you get that one guy who just goes, nah, I'm stopping the train here and I'm going for a jolly. See you in 20 minutes, boys. I think it's one of those things in it that keep saying, oh, we'd like to add it, but will they? Struggling a little bit. I think the peak is somewhere around here. Around this area here. Let's just check the... oh, there's a peak there, I think. It's near Hermosa, I know that. Never had a problem with the train rolling on just the Independence. Being honest with you. Where I did have that problem one time was I simply let them off too early. And what I mean by that is when I went to move the train, I released the brake, then applied power, and that was a bad idea. What you need to do is you need to have it on the power, pulling against the brake as you release it. Although I suppose it depends where you stop. If you're at one of the pre-planned stopping points where they've set the brake in the service, you should be fine. If you manage to come to a halt halfway up the hill at a random spot on a 1 in 90 gradient, it might not get going again. I've had that happen to me. I think it was raining. I tried it in the rain or the snow, and I could not actually get the train to the top of the hill. There just wasn't enough occasion. Even with the banking club and stuff, it was in overwork. Right, just wind down the power again. We are getting close to the top. Oh, I tell you what might cause that death is if you've not cut the brakes in properly before you start releasing stuff. And if you've not done the cut-ins properly, the independent brake doesn't come on properly, I don't think. Because there's a scenario on, I think it is actually on this, there's a scenario either on this or, what the hell we were talking about a minute ago, the one that used to be called CSX Heavy Haul. The original big American freight TSW2, you know what I mean? There's a scenario in one of those two where you actually by default the train starts to roll away from you. Had it happen on Clinchfield actually as well. And it's because the cabin's not set, no matter what you do with the brakes, they just don't come on because you don't cut the cabin properly. Sound a little. Okay. Appreciate that, man. I don't really have an easily adjustable volume on my microphone or anything like that. So, as ever, it's cheap and cheerful on this channel. Right, let's see how that works. Right, that's half volume on the game, and I just realised my mic was a little far away from my gob there as well. That any better? Those little flags there are the collectibles, by the way. They're dinosaur fossils. Right, actually you can see the crest there where the tracks disappear over the rise. Brilliant, thanks guys, appreciate that. Highest point on the Transcontinental Railroad. Woohoo! Fuck yeah, America! I did find the not intended for children toggle on the streaming software before I started. That was one thing I made sure I did identify. So I can't get in trouble for all the swears. Right, we're over the crest now, so we've actually got about 2 or 3 minutes before the rest of the train, before you reach that sort of tipping point where more of the train is going downhill than coming uphill. We'll let it bleed a little bit of the speed off. We're not going to grind to a halt. What we'll do is we'll put the dynamics into the setup position. There we go. See there. And once it's been in setup and it engages, you'll get like one. You'll get like 1 on the traction meter here, just to show you it's alive and registering usually. Where you do on every other train with a dynamic brake, maybe not this one. Oh, I didn't mean to turn it off, bugger. The accelerometer is incredibly useful for these American trains as well. Real life, the lead engine gives a bit of brake while the helper gives throttle. Yeah, that's one thing this game doesn't do particularly well, is the really advanced kind of physics stuff. You used to be able to do it in Train Sim. Remember that? Like old Train Sim when it was Microsoft Train Sim, because I could never get these big American freight trains. It was the Marianas Pass, I think it was, you got with that. I could never get a train across it that busted a coupler or something. Right, so we're starting to pick up a little bit of speed now, gradually. Just give it a little bit of dynamic. I guess it's like anything, man. I mean, these guys, once you've done it a few times, got a bit of training, probably second nature. I believe what's a big problem for them these days is that Union Pacific in particular are trying to cheap out on everything, and they're using like an automatic system down in the back cab instead of having an actual crew what need wages. And there's some brilliant videos on YouTube of these rear end units like melting the rails under their wheels because they're going at full malky trying to get the thing moving while the lead cab's doing God knows what. But hey, that's the future, innit? So we're still picking up a bit of speed even with the dynamics on at this point. What we'll do is we'll cut a bit of air in as well. Now you notice straight away the dynamic drops off. When you do that, you have to bail the independent brake off again for the dynamics to come back on. And then it takes a wee minute for them to come back on. I'm sure it's dynamics. Have I done that wrong? Have I remembered that incorrectly? No, there we go, we've got dynamics coming back on. Give it a little bit of brake, we'll bring the dynamics down a little bit. It's kind of finding the sweet spot. Alright, Samson, enjoy your scran, mate. Good to see you, dude. I'll no leave it a year before the next stream, honestly. Shit, I made a commitment now, damn. So there we go, it's find the sweet spot and just balance the train on it kind of thing. Don't give it too much air at once, because you can't let little bits of air out on an American train. You have to let it all out and start again. But if we let the dynamics out a little bit, we should start to pick up a bit of speed, even with that air in. Hey Rafus, hey Ratifus, good to see you, man. Rafus, why the fuck did I call you Rafus? Ratifus. And I have to say, and I should have said this when Samson was here, I'm really grateful that you guys have just like, I've been gone a year, I've been on for half an hour, and old faces are popping up again. You guys are awesome. Might have a little bit too much air in the pipe actually. Will we just let the dynamic out and let's just let them all out. Oh, shit, I didn't mean to turn that off. Oh, oops. We now have no braking. Oh, there we go. No, we're good. It's still holding. Still got plenty of air in the pipes as well, so we don't need to worry just yet. Remember, cut the brake, the independent brake back in to get the dynamic coming back on. I need it to come on really soon though. There's always a bit of lag with the brakes as well, which is why you need to be super careful with them. I'm going to just pop a bit more brake in as well. I'm going to give it a little bit of air. Come on, I want these dynamics coming on. They take a wee while to spin up again. They should be good because I've had everything recycled once. Thing is, the speed limit is like 50 miles an hour, but we don't want to get too far above. You don't want to get too far above 30. 30 is kind of like the golden number. Right? Why is this not coming back on? I need to reset it again. It's been a while. Ah, because I didn't bail it properly. You bail it, the dynamics come back on, and then you can open the air up a little bit, and you see the cylinder pressure starts to go up again. Thing is, if you just tap the button, it releases. You need to hold it down to bail it. That's what I did wrong. Nice one. Good spot. Now, notice that at 33 miles an hour as opposed to 26, I've got about the same amount of brake applied. In fact, I've got slightly more. I had 26%. I've got a third of the brake on, and all the dynamics have gone again. keep losing my dynamics. Chaps, it would appear I've forgotten how to drive this thing. This could go badly. Right, we're golden, we're golden. That would be a shit level crossing to get stuck at. Imagine that if you were on the other side of that crossing, you're like, yeah, that train's nearly past, and then it goes past and all you see is like a million ethanol cars coming down the hill at you. Thinks I'm going to have to go back and watch the tutorial videos or the launch stream for this, because I remember Matt Bedleston did go through all the how the brakes work on this. Ah, we're good for air. We've got plenty of air. We are still decelerating slightly, so there we go. Actually, the dynamics are doing a pretty decent job on this. Oh, there we go. We're at 1 in 67. Just check the map here. Yeah, the gradient's not constant all the way down either. So we're going basically you're going down 1 foot for every 67 that you travel forward. The smaller the second number is, the steeper the incline. Kind of counterintuitive, because you want to think the bigger that number is, the steeper the hill is. But that's not how it works. You do spend an awful lot of time, I think, looking at this little screen coming down here. So we've done... I think we had 34 miles to cover. We've done 24. I'm going to just let it out and let it pick up a bit of speed, to be honest with you. I wonder if they've tweaked up the braking performance and stuff, because I definitely remember not being able to hold it on just the dynamics alone. More importantly, I remember it all actually bloody working properly. Like, I was able to have the dynamics and the air together. I don't know what the hell I'm doing wrong here. Because you don't have to worry so much about this stuff on Horseshoe. The trains don't seem to be quite so difficult to manage. I'm going to let it pick up a bit of extra speed, see if I can manage it at slightly higher speeds. Yeah, that's what I was trying to be careful of, was letting it go too quickly to the point where they just don't work at all. try plugging them back in and see what happens now. So we're up to about 35. I mean, the speed limit's 55. It's just the issue can be stopping at the bottom if you let it get too quick. Oh, got a floaty object up there. What's that? Oh, it's just a bush that hasn't rendered it properly. Okay, 45. Let's plug some dynamics in and see what happens. I think they've tweaked these. Yeah, they've tweaked them. I'm watching the accelerometer there. It is definitely pulling back a little. E-brake at 75. How long did it take to stop? Actually, mind you, this is only a... Ah, do you know what? These are the empties, that's why. This is only a 12,000 tonner. I'm sure that going the other way, they're like 18,000 tons or something ridiculous like that. Ah, there we go, so we're, yeah. Aw. That seems a little too easy. Right, let's run it up a bit further. Let's experiment. To be honest, I'd rather not take like a whole hour to get to a destination that's 20 miles away. Oh, I tell you what, I should have switched on before I started up. I've got well, I do have a mod that fixes the Great Western. It takes all the overhead line equipment off and sort of 1970ifies some of the buildings and assets and things. Absolutely brilliant fun for running the Legends of the Great Western diesel pack stuff on. In fact, that's specifically why somebody did it. Oh look, we're coming up to speed limit change. They are still working, yep, they're still pulling, they're slowing us down now. We're not going to make the speed limit. We're probably not going to derail. Trying to figure out, the accelerometer is just slightly up yet. bollocks. Should still be good for air. No, I think we've got it. We've got it. We've got it. We're back under control. Ish. I'm going to have to go back and read up on the dynamics though, because I buggered something up somewhere. I was just checking that wee thing there to see if there was any of those instructions might remind me of through a reverser handle in, reverser forward, or reverse throttle stop or idle, which is all that. Oh, we're accelerating again. Kind of blasting through my air a little bit here to no real effect. Oh dearie dear. Okay. That was kind of inevitable that I was going to lose control of it on the stream, wasn't it? Should have just kept it at 30. Christ, this is on full emergency brakes as well. I like how it still feels the need to throw me an alerter. Like, yeah, I'm pretty fucking alert at this point. Oh no. Oh dear. This never happened in an HST. going to have to stop now as well to let the brakes recharge. I don't know if I'm inclined to sit for 20 minutes and let them do that, to be honest. I think I need to bone up on the air brakes and stuff again before I attempt this. It has been a few weeks since I've driven this this line. We're at the point now with this game as well. There's so many different trains to remember all the different things to do on them as well. It's really easy to forget that one stupid wee button that is different from all the other almost identical versions of the train you've got. People who drive on Danger Rover crossings should try this. Alright, there we go. All stop. Oh Christ, I didn't mean to bail that off actually. I don't think it'll make any difference at this point though. I don't think I can bail them off while they're in emergency. I've never actually had to throw an emergency on this, so I'm not even sure I know how to recover it. Well, that actually charges fairly fast. It's this one here, the rear one. That could take ages because I think if I remember rightly, these have to. The reservoir and the pipe have to both charge up completely, and then the air starts making its way down to the back of the train. Hoping it doesn't start to roll away from us. Probably actually shouldn't be on the inside either, should I? I'm getting out to do stuff. Yeah. Now see, that's the independents are holding it for now. See, the fronts are already off. Ooh. Oh, can't play with any of the handles and things. Yeah, I think they've definitely done some tweakage, mate, because it's not moving at all. But those dynamics were definitely more powerful than they were before, because I was able to get... I don't want to do that. I was able to get some purchase off them up to about, I think it was about 45, 50 before they completely lost it. See what the oh blimey. That's not even started charging. Because I need that rear one to be up around 70 odd at least before we get moving. Well, I still have the dynamics on as well. Right, I'm going to go to Lou, and if it hasn't started moving by the time I come back, I might not be inclined to sit and wait for it to fully charge. We'll see. I'll be back in a moment. Right. Okay. I think what we'll do is we'll bail for this one. That I need to relearn how to drive big American freight trains. Oh, and I've just shut the game down. Bugger. Right. Let's just get rid of all that stuff. That was stupid. Something went wrong. I pressed the wrong button because I'm a bit of a div. Right, we'll do something nice and quick and not too time consuming just to wrap up. It's a shame to end it just on a bummer like that. What doesn't take too long? So we've already seen Southeastern. What have I never done before? Most of this stuff, but it's finding something quick and cheerful to do. do a quick run on this. I like this. I've not done it very often. I've not done very much of them, but I don't think they're quite as complicated trains. Let's do yeah, let's do a quick run from Lucerne to Surcy. Probably murdered the pronunciations there, but never mind. Harlow line's quite fun, I do like that. Right, this is a comparatively easy setup to do. What have I not done? Oh, I've not turned the cab on, that's what I've not done. Yeah, easy Scott. Pretty much sets everything up for you. The only other thing you need to remember to do is I think we're going to Surcy, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Sorry, Pixel, I don't know what that means, I'm afraid. Signals down here, they're not too dissimilar to standard European green good, green yellow, watch yourself, all yellow, ooh, slow down, about red, stop. Basically. It does have a twin tone. Not got the little clown car thing that a lot of the German trains have got. This isn't actually an S-Bahn service, this is a Regio Express, but the on-board PCS doesn't seem to have an appropriate RB set for going in this direction, weirdly. Still a good route though, I really like it. Bypassing a couple of stations. I think we only do 2 or 3 stops on this run. Doesn't take very long. Short route this. Really nicely done though. It does look really nice. the brakes there. Paranoid about brakes now after after the disaster on Sherman Hill. Never mind. Quite a snug fit on some of these platforms as well. If you've got the double unit. Fairly quick stops again. This is the sort of the 30-second rush hour styly stops. Go. Next stop, Rothenburg. Line speeds up a bit though once we leave Lucerne. Or as we leave Lucerne rather. S-Bahn train stop there. We're Regional Express, don't you know? This actually reminds me a lot of riding the trams around Edinburgh. They're not dissimilar to this thing here. Our trams are more like a light urban railway. They're a bit more bendy, so they can get around tight corners. They're split into more sections. But it's very much an urban into countryside and then back into, well, feels urban just because the airport's like quite a big place, but it's got that cool sort of mix of built up area and then a sprint out in the middle of nowhere. Good fun when you get onto the faster bit of track heading out towards the airport as well, because it actually goes up and down over some bridges and round some corners and things, but they go quite quickly while they're doing it. There is a sort of a normal air brake as well as an electric brake on this thing as well. Occasionally find myself having to reach for the handle. Oh, better start slowing down. brakes are pretty fucking mighty on this thing. Oh, I thought I'd unlocked the doors. I did unlock the door, why is it not open? Huh. That was weird. Definitely pressed the button. How odd. Yeah, there we go, all closed. That was bizarre. There we go, they all open this time. I wonder if it's because I got up as I pressed the button and it knackered something up. Right, let's go! Let's just give it beans, all the beans. Right, let's go. Let's do it. Then I really need to go and get some grub because I had no idea how late it was getting. I kind of lose track of the time doing this. Something they're building or taking down. Yeah, just go put the camera inside. I like that. Regulator and e-brake. Speaking of regulators, cannot wait for Steam. It's gonna be good. Not gonna lie, spent a fair bit of money on Train Sim Classic just to play with Steam. I know purists are gonna hate me for it, but went there. Nice quick stop. Now, crossing's already down, so let's see if it stays down. There was one that popped up as you went past it, but I think they might have sorted that. We're actually doing quite nicely for time. Spirit of Steam, I don't know. I mean, there's nothing else announced now between now and then, is there? So, we're in May, so June, July, probably. I think that'll be their big summer release. Because the only other things I'm aware of in the pipeline apart from that are an as yet unnamed German and American route. Right, next stop Cersei, so that's 10 kilometres, not going to take us very long. Ah, there you go, there's the one that goes up as you go through. Dope. It's not a proper release if there's not one thing like that that just blatantly does the wrong thing in a really bloody obvious place where you can't not see it. Cows! More cows! All the cows! This is the fastest stretch in the line as well. A dog barking in the background. It's my next door neighbour's dog. She might be able to hear my voice because the window's open. She'll be waiting for biscuits because I always give her biscuits when I go outside. See? Nice short little run this. It's too short perhaps, I don't know. It's not the shortest route, but you do go quite quick along some stretches of it, so it can be over really quickly. It's still a really good fun little route though. The train's a really nice little one to drive. Certainly in a sale, pick this up without hesitation. It's not broken beyond play because one level crossing did a weird thing. Full price, one for the dedicated enthusiast of light urban railways perhaps. But definitely still a good route. Definitely Rivet's best effort yet, without question. Certainly in the state it was at on release, compared to the mess that some of them have been. A Rosa Line. I only found out as well that Rivet are actually a Scottish developer. I always assumed they were in Switzerland or Germany. But, no, apparently they're based over here somewhere. Don't see much adverse signalling, is the only thing. The only time I've run into it was once. And I misread it and spadded. To be fair, if you do an S-Bahn service, it's about 30-40 minutes to do the full length, because you do stop at every station on the way through. Oh, yeah, that was... think of emergency brake there, didn't I? Balls. Oh, this isn't going so well. You need to be sort of paying attention to the signal and responding before you pass it rather than blasting on through it. Tube, eh? Right, just we'll wind the speed in a bit. It's kind of like a cross between PZB and LZB, this system. I should have been slowing down a bit earlier as well, knowing I was coming into a station stop. Still on time though. There's the click switches for the doors down there, should you need them. Some other switches as well, never needed the sand. I think that might be the only other one down there. Alright, blew a speed limit, busted the e-brakes, still got gold. Awesome. That's what you call a scoring system. Right, okay, that's 10 to 7. I've been at this for I don't know how long, but longer than I intended to be. So I think I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. Brilliant seeing all the old faces again. That was, oh man, that was just amazing to me that people just were there as soon as I turned it on. Like, Jesus Christ. Who'd have thought? But yeah, I'm still rubbish at winding these things up as well, as you can see. So I'm just going to call it there. Thanks very much, guys, and I promise you I won't leave it a year till the next stream. Definitely. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night, troops. I'm off to stuff my face. Bye-bye.